Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Today I want to take a look at Dark Deity with you guys and give you my general first impressions. I have played the first 5 chapters up to this point and done the preps for chapter 6. And I'm enjoying it quite a lot, I'm not going to lie. I've heard a lot of negativity towards it, but overall I really enjoy it. So I'm just gonna be playing a little bit and giving you my thoughts on different things as we go. Because there are a few... some of them very nitpicky, some of them less nitpicky. Things that really affect the play experience for me that kind of bother me. So this is chapter 3. So we don't have like we don't have any promoted units yet. They promote at level 10. I started promoting. I got my first promoted unit, I think, next chapter, and then I started promoting like crazy the chapter after that. So you level up pretty quick, which is nice. I do like that. Yeah, just overall, the game looks pretty, you know, I think. People have said the maps are uninspired and look kind of lame, but, you know, to each his own. I like the sprite work. I like the way they move. It's a little, like, more exaggerated than, like, how Fire Emblem sprites move on the map. I think it's kind of a fun little unique thing. And every class is very different looking on the map, you know. They all have their own little distinct movements, which I like a lot. And the farther you progress, the crazier they get. You see, like, all of these blue units, all of my units, they're all, like, tier 1 classes. And they're pretty, you know, pretty tame. But then you look at these guys that are, like, I feel like they're like the higher classes and stuff, and they definitely have a lot more character to them. Like, the thief is, like, flipping a coin. Oh, whoops. Zooming out the camera on accident. Got the guy, the raider over here with his, like, torch and, like, the horse, like, gives a little, like, kind of thing. It's cute. It's a lot of cute stuff like that. I do enjoy it. Now, first major gripe. Enemy phase is, like, nearly impossible to calculate. Maybe I'm just bad at the game. Or maybe I'm just bad at math. But it's really hard to know what the enemies are going to do. And maybe I just need to learn... I need to learn AI, number 1. And number 2, I need to learn the calculations better, I guess. So, like, knowing how much damage you're going to take and deal on enemy phase, or just in general without looking at the battle forecast, is really difficult. And that's because of the way that it's just all calculated. For instance, Irving here, he deals negative 5% damage to plate enemies with plate armor, and then negative 10 for people with chain, but he does plus 30 to enemies with leather, and so on and so forth. So, and every single weapon type has this. So I assume I'll get better at knowing the weapon types and what they affect and what they don't better. But still, it's so hard to, like, look at these numbers and say, okay, he has, you know, 8 strength. Actually, he has 12 attack power right now, which you can see down here. You know, 12 attack power. I have 9 defense on Irving. So, like, you would think, oh, he'll deal, you know, 3 damage. Guy deals 4 damage, right? And right now it's not as a big a deal, but later in the game, 30% is going to be a lot. Or 10% is going to be a lot more than just, you know, 1 damage of difference. So that's one thing I really dislike at this point. I think that's my biggest gripe with the game, is that calculations are really hard to just do. It's hard to really think about enemy phase. And I know the answer is, like, you see the red? That guy's going to hit you harder. The red underneath of their health bars. It's like, oh, that guy's using a red weapon, meaning he's going to hit you harder. Or the green guy, he has an accuracy weapon. Or, you know, we got red, you know, yellow guy stuff. So there's ways to, like, look at it and kind of do it by feel, but that's kind of like how the only way to do it. Like, feels like that's the only way to do it, is to do it by feel. And I'm not a big fan of that. I would like to be able to do the numbers. Okay. Enough of the super nerdy stuff. Sorry. My next issue is just, like, battle cutscenes in general. So, like, it cuts in well, like a nice fade into the battle. Music is a little uninspired, kind of boring, and then cut. Really a hard cut back to the map, and it just is really jarring. You know, really jarring. And I don't know if this is on purpose or a bug or something they just like are gonna fix in the future, but it feels really just gross. Ugh. And the music is really abrupt and everything. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, more positive things though. I do like the cast of characters so far. They are really cute. A lot of fun, colorful characters that have had fun personalities so far. In particular, I really like Garrick is funny. You know, he's like he's supposed to be like the ladies' man kind of character, but he definitely there's definitely more to him than that. And I kind of like it. Elias, I just like him because of his personal skill, Soulfire. He just gets extra crit. I mean, is it super noticeable? No, but it's still funny. I don't know. It's just like a funny thing. And then Marin is another favorite of mine because she has Caretaker, which is basically just like Live to Serve, except it's slightly less good, but it's her personal ability, which is cool. So she's a healer, but also healers in this game can always just like kill things. So like Lincoln's a healer, but he has 13 defense. So he just like doesn't take damage from things. It's hilarious. He's so buff. It's a little over the top. Oh man, that cut hurts me every time.
I'll take point.
The little voice lines are really good. The voice acting in this game, what is here is good. I think some people were expecting... sorry, I'm not really thinking right now. I'm just like clicking buttons. I think some people were expecting...
My sword grows lighter with every
this is actually something. HP always goes up on level up, by the way. Even if your growth is like... So, normally in like Fire Emblem, for instance, if your growth in HP is like 75, there's a 75% chance you'll get HP, right? And there's some crazy characters that have like 145, which means they always get one and have a 45% chance of getting 2 stats, plus 2 HP on level up. But every HP growth in this game is treated as if it's plus 100. So no matter what, you always get at least 1 HP. And then for Bianca here, she has a 45% chance to actually get 2 HP. So HP stats are just going to be super inflated in this game by the end. Which isn't a bad thing necessarily. It's just different.
Lead the way.
I also like how generous the experience is for healing. Although Link, I'm not really sure how the experience with healing formula goes. Because Lincoln will heal someone and get like 2 experience, but then Marin will heal someone and get like 20. So I'm not really sure how the level is affected in that. But hey, it's a thing. Last thing for like map gameplay that I really like is that every here, let me end turn so I can show it off. I think it's the thing that I like the most at this point is that every base class has its own like particular special skill and that you can activate, and they're really fun to use. Oh man, and the sound effects are rough. They're a little loud. All over the top, but hey, you can mix them yourself, so I shouldn't really complain, I guess. Look at Irving there. Irving's actually a really underwhelming main character, in my opinion, as far as like unit and attacking stuff goes. As a character, he's cool. I like him. But all right, now I want to show this off. So every base class has some sort of like command ability on the map. So mages, Alden here. He has phase, so he can teleport to the other side. So it's like swap, or it's like reposition from 3 houses, right? Or from heroes. Adepts can use chain. And if you use chain, they lock...
Oh, no, you don't.
That enemy can now not move next turn. They're stuck there. You have... Irving has push, which is like Tellius shove, and you can both push enemies and player units alike. I really like that. A lot of fun opportunity here. Just shove it. Hope you don't mind. Dang it, man! I hate you for pushing me. But I think the one that has the most potential for fun like LTC things, potentially, I'm not sure, is the Ranger ability, which you run up and use haste on one of your units, and they get +1 move. I don't know if it stacks. I wonder if it stacks. Oh, I'll have to test that out. But like, you know, it's just really cool. Let's get over here faster. Attack. That sound effect's also a little rough, but it's okay. Overall, I feel like this game is a lot of fun for what it is. It's cheap, so it's like it's hard to complain about a game that I got for 20 bucks, you know. But it's a fun time. But overall, it feels a little unpolished. But hey, these developers, it's their first game, and I think it's a great first outing, and I'm excited to see what they had to do next. But now let's move into my feelings on like the base and that whole system, because that's a whole nother topic, and I'll talk more about the different weapon types and stuff there. So let's move into that. So here we have the base system, and it's very similar in function to that of Path of Radiance's or Radiant Dawn's base system, if you're familiar with those. So Fire Emblem 9 and 10. In that you can you can see all your units, like cool stuff. You can mess with their inventories, which inventory management is not as big of a thing in this game as it is in Fire Emblem, which is, has its drawbacks, but I think ultimately it's a good thing. But the definite, I'll get to the coolest part, the upgrades, in a second. There's a shop. You can actually buy the stuff, and I really like this. I really like that you can buy stat boosters from like literally as soon as you get the base. It's like chapter 3, I think. Maybe before chapter. It's either before chapter 3 or before chapter 2. You get access to the base, and you're able to just like buy stat boosters. They're expensive, but yeah, you can just buy stat boosters, which is cool. Like you notice, I'm just like out of money because I spend it all on stuff. You can also buy these weapon tokens, which go into the really cool stuff that I'll talk about in a minute with weapon upgrading. But yeah, again, I'll get to that in a second, which I really like the upgrading system. Bonds replace like, they're basically just like support conversations, Very much like Fire Emblem, just support conversations, cool stuff. I think, in particular, I really like some of the... as you can see, I've only unlocked C support so far, so I don't like have a super strong judgment on this yet. But I've liked like a lot of Garrick's, this green guy over here, Garrick's supports with like Irving especially. I like that one, and he's just kind of a funny guy. But overall, the supports are short and sweet. They're not like overly long like some of the Path of Radiance ones can get, and even some of like the more recent games can get. It's nice and quick, just over quick, and it's nice. But now I want to look at this upgrading system. So as I mentioned before, every unit just has like 4 weapon types, and I don't know whether or not I like this as much as I do like a normal, just like by having weapons and stuff as in Fire Emblem yet. I'm not sure how I feel about this entirely. But for now, I am enjoying it. Like, it's definitely fun. It's different, but it's fun. So every unit has access to these 4 different weapon types. Every unit, and they all kind of like there's different categories. There's like slashing, stabbing, like bludgeoning weapons. Obviously, like bows and arrows. Different kinds of magics. There's like a light magic. There's like fire and thunder magic, and that I've seen. There's probably wind magic as well. All these different kind of magics and stuff, and they all just have like different stats as you level them up. And and overall, it's actually a pretty good spread. So I feel like there's some classes that like, yeah, power is probably like their best. Probably is this like the best bet. But there are some that like, yeah, crit can be fun with the finesse weapon, or balance can be fun, and it's never bad to have a focus weapon leveled up a little bit, right? So I do like this system a lot. It's very straightforward, so I'm worried about replayability in this function in particular with the upgrading stuff, because you don't really get to pick different paths aside from picking different weapons to upgrade. And you upgrade them with these like tokens that you get from killing enemies, but you can also buy them like I showed. So like for instance, we have Sophia here, who is an archer lady. She has a ferret. I love the ferret. It's hilarious to me that she has a ferret that actually like fights and kills things. But I personally really like the red upgrades on bows at this point. They hit really hard and really good for just like, they actually take out mages really well. I like that in particular. And I feel like the archers have been accurate enough so far that I don't really need this, you know, 9 and 11 accuracy buff over here. And the 1 to 2 damage on the balance is just like not good enough for me. And yeah, so I generally use either the war bow or just the red weapon, or if I'm feeling crazy, if I like can't quite kill or something, I might as well just like try for a crit kind of thing. I'll do the finesse. So I actually haven't leveled up the finesse bow yet, so I'm gonna level that up on Sophia here. See what we get here. So we level it up to the repeater. I like that. It's up to 8 might, which is nice, and then 21 crit is cool too. So it's just a really simple way to upgrade things, and it's intuitive and fun. I think it's very rewarding. It's very quickly gratifies you. You know, feels good. But you know, that's all for the base stuff. I think that's what all we're gonna cover today. Thanks for watching, friends. Make sure to like the video if you haven't. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and comment your thoughts. What do you think of Dark Deity so far? Do you have things you dislike about it? I mean, of course I do as well. There's no game is perfect, but overall I'm enjoying my time, and I think that's the most important thing, is if you're having fun. So yeah, share your thoughts, and I'll catch you next time.